Welcome to another episode of Stacks from Guides. I am your host, Ryan Michael Ballo. I am a coffee drinker. I am obsessed with coffee, and I also like modafinil a lot. So we're going to talk about modafinil today. We're going to talk about a modafinil protocol directly from the Smarter, Better, Faster guide. Smarter, Better, Faster is a guide that's for folks that are new to nootropics, that want to learn how to use them, that want to learn the questions I think everybody has coming into the sphere. Should I cycle racetams? Can I mix racetams? How should I cycle phenibut? Are there particularly effective tranquility stacks? That's what I call tranquility. That's what I call the nootropics that work on calming the brain down rather than speeding everything up, like theanine, ashwagandha, rhodiola, these sorts of things. What are the best stacks in that regard? And then, Smarter, Better, Faster, I very rarely mention this to folks on our everyday videos about that guide, which is a digital downloadable guide. I'm reading it on an iPad right now. But that's actually my favorite guide of all of our digital guides, because it is how to surgically use nootropics. It is like, if you really want to truly know how to use nootropics the right way to get the best effects, to get powerful brain performance, get that guide. It's also got a lot of stacks in it. My own personal favorite stacks, like the Alcar Alpha GPC Caffeine Theanine stack, otherwise known as the mighty AACT stack. Very powerful stack, very simple nootropic stack, but powerful. That's the thing. Okay, so but in that guide we talk about modafinil, because modafinil just like is a part of the nootropic sphere, the nootropics discussion, and we had to bring that in there. It is the elephant in the room. But what I've come to learn over the years is that there is, just like most other nootropic compounds, there is a surgical way to use modafinil. Okay, that's kind of why on Smarter, Better, Faster, the tagline is a surgical guide to using nootropics for total mental dominance. You want to look like me? Well, you have to have my parents, but if you want to function like me, if you want your brain to function like me, if you want verbal fluency, motivation, speed of processing, mental energy, motivation, I said that, productivity like me, it should be illegal to function how good I function. The reason I function this well is multifold: diet, exercise, hydration, etc. But nootropics, absolutely. Taking nootropics over very many years, but a very particularly surgical methodology to use nootropics. That's how I can function this well. Okay, I was never an exceptionally smart kid. My parents are very simple folks. My dad died a long time ago. He was a heavy equipment operator. My mom's a simpleton. She works at a nursing home. I mean, we're not talking about Einsteins here. So I figured out how to hack my brain via nootropics. Anyway, using this particular methodology, want to talk about, align with that, a few surgical modafinil protocols, and I'm just going to read you directly from the Smarter, Better, Faster guide on surgical modafinil protocols, and then we're going to get to two stacks that involve modafinil, theanine, and caffeine. Okay. Starting off, the primary afinil I want to discuss in this guide is modafinil. In my view, it is the best afinil there is, which it totally is. I don't necessarily want to say the most efficient, because some of you understand armodafinil. You take less of armodafinil and you get similar effects or quite better effects. Doesn't mean armodafinil is better. That's a whole separate video. It's time tested, and modafinil is absolutely it. Oh yeah, I want tried and true, time tested, modafinil is it. It has the most research behind it, the biggest group of anecdotal references throughout the web, and is well tolerated across large groups of people. I'm going to skip around just to get to the relevant stuff. The compound, however, usually requires that you tone down other stimulants that you might be taking, caffeine particularly. Okay, this is where it gets important. But combining modafinil with caffeine can actually be quite powerful for a degree of brain function that will really tone up your productivity, okay? In that regard, as we've discussed earlier in this guide, modafinil can be combined with the calming amino acid L-theanine to balance out, extra stimulatory effects. Okay, so, that's kind of the preface. We're going to get right to the stacks. Number one, 100 milligrams modafinil, 500 milligrams L-theanine. Okay, check this out. Now, this is an interesting stack. It tones up the modafinil modafinil dose quite a bit and brings in the almighty nootropic stack balancer, L-theanine. It adds a pleasant control to the stimulation of the modafinil dose, positively working on a few neurochemicals that allow you to feel calm and in a good mood. There's a lot of folks that through the spectrum of, basically they take modafinil and get panic attacks, that they end up with either that or some degree of edgy anxiety from taking modafinil, and that's more than likely because of the type of neurotransmitters it's working on, and how that promotes wakefulness and puts you in a place where you could you could be edgy or anxious. L-theanine completely knocks that out for a lot of folks that run into that problem. Take heed to that strategy. But the second strategy And the second stack combines caffeine and then brings L-theanine to get you the benefit of the modafinil caffeine combination to balance things out with the L-theanine. Okay, here it is. 75 milligrams modafinil, 120 milligrams caffeine. So that's large cup, you know, this is probably 120 milligrams of caffeine. And then 500 milligrams of L-theanine. Okay, this will be a profoundly stimulatory modafinil stack for most people, but the bit of L-theanine in the mix will keep the extra stimulation under control so that your brain uses it in a controlled, regulated manner. You've got this controlled output of good, solid brain function with that theanine going, hey, if things get too stimulating, we're going to balance things back out. You'll get all the speed of processing and mental fluidity benefits of caffeine modafinil, or of caffeine, with the massive power of modafinil by regulating the strong effect of the modafinil caffeine combination with L-theanine. Okay, I'm just going to give you another stack just to make this a super valuable video right here, and then we'll just quickly read the explanation. Stack number 3, 100 milligrams modafinil, 200 milligrams 5-HTP, 300 milligrams L-theanine. This stack adds the actual production of serotonin to the mix, which will give you the performance benefits of modafinil, but with the ability for the brain to create more serotonin via the 5-HTP and the ability to release, to put more serotonin into use via the L-theanine. One of L-theanine's mechanisms is to increase brain serotonin. This stack allows you to focus, have mental energy and endurance, and be in a positive mental state at the same time. That is directly from the Smarter, Better, Faster guide. Get that guide at livecortex.com. It is a powerful, surgical, very situationally specific, nootropic protocol specific guide. It's called Smarter, Better, Faster. Digital, download it for anything. I am reading it on an iPad and I am drinking a coffee. Talk to you next time. What's up, everybody? Ryan Michael Ballo here. Hey, thanks a lot for listening to the video. Thanks a lot for being here. But check this out. If you want to take your nootropics game to a different level, to the pro level, we've got 4 major products for you. Number 1, the NuPep Pro Stack List. I think of all of these, it's the NuPep Pro Stack List and the Racetam God Guide, which we're going to get to in just a second, and we explain in the video, that are the most advanced guides out of our guides. The NuPep Pro Stack List is a digital guide that explains a bunch of powerful sublingual, oral, and nasal NuPep stacks. It also has 20 bonus Racetam stacks. The gist of it is, look, it took me a long time, 4 years of concentrated experience trying to find the best NuPep stacks, putting them in a digital guide. It's like folks try for a while to find a good NuPep stack. They're like, you're weighing stuff out, they're adding different ingredients in, they can't quite get it right. I figured them all out. I figured the God stacks of NuPeps, and I put them in the NuPep Pro Stack List. Get that at livecortex.com. It's digital. Then the Smarter, Better, Faster guide, as you see right in front of you here, that is a guide for new folks. If you're new to nootropics, look, any of these guides will suit you, but if you're new to nootropics, this teaches you everything. Choline sources, racetam, stacking racetams, phenibut, research chemicals, modafinil, everything in between. Smarter, Better, Faster is a very powerful, information-dense, it's also a lot of stacks in there, digital guide you can download for anything you have. Then the Racetam God Guide. This is a little on the advanced level, but still, anyone could take it and get the stacks from it, and then can go implement those stacks, make those stacks, capsule the stuff, the ingredients that we've got laid out in the stacks, and then get a benefit from it. It's got 80 plus pro, highly advanced, super effective Racetam stacks. We got aniracetam, piracetam, oxiracetam, phenylpiracetam, nephiracetam, coliracetam, fasoracetam, all the major H nootropic racetams in that guide. And then the Cortex stack. The Cortex stack is really like, look, if you're really looking to take your nootropics game to another level, I created that stack to give people an idea of what nootropics really should be. The pre-made stacks that were out there were not that effective. They just weren't. The companies and the folks that own those companies, I'm sure, are great. They just weren't that effective. So I created a stack that was like blowing my mind and allowing my brain to really function well during an 18-hour period building a business. I then converted that to a commercial stack. It is called Cortex. It is strong, okay? Get all that stuff at livecortex.com. That is what you got to do if you really want to take your nootropics game to the next level. Get these guides. Get all these guides. If you're new, get the Smarter, Better, Faster guide. If you want a NuPep stack list that's highly advanced and surgical, get the NuPep Pro stack list. If you want some Racetam stacks that are extremely effective, situationally specific, get the Racetam God Guide. And listen, thanks so much for being with me. Go to livecortex.com and get these products. And my friends, be epic and achieve more.